Adrian Nelson here. I hope that you're doing great. Today I want to speak about affirmations and how they can actually completely, totally and horribly mess up your life. Now, to just be straight out right from the start, I fully support affirmations. Affirmations are very powerful. Vision boards are very powerful. Taking inspired action is very, very powerful. Those things are incredibly powerful. But if you don't do them correctly, then something that is initially meant to be incredibly powerful can actually serve to your detriment, and nobody wants that. So today's video is about helping you understand how you can use affirmations to your benefit, so that they don't work as well as you thought that they can or they're capable of, but they work better than that. That is what I want to help you with. So just think about it. When do we typically say affirmations? Or when do you typically say affirmations? If you are like most people, we say them when we feel sort of rattled, when we feel sort of unsettled, when we feel afraid, we feel nervous, we feel anxious, you feel uncertain of yourself, you're in that panic mode. All right? And so, you would maybe, let's say you are very stressed about something and you are not feeling confident, you're not feeling strong, you're not feeling capable. But then you say to yourself, I'm strong, I'm capable, I'm confident. So you are saying the right thing, but your brain takes everything very literally. So when you are in the space where you are not feeling all that positive, but you are saying, you're pushing out your chest and you're like squaring your shoulders and you're like, I'm confident, I'm powerful, I'm strong. So what you are doing is you are saying the right thing, but it's like putting a plaster on something that needs stitches. So when you are not feeling a certain way, but you are telling yourself that you are feeling a certain way, what your brain does, that takes everything so literally, what your brain does, it says, okay, so this is how you are feeling, and this is what you are saying based on how you are feeling. So you are taking that highly positive, amazing affirmation that can be so beneficial to you, and you technically turn that good thing into a bad thing for yourself. And the reason for that is that when you go and say, I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident, and your brain goes like, you're not confident. No, you're not. So two things are happening there. One, you are giving a negative infusion to something that is initially positive or has the potential to be positive, because you are tying it to something that is negative. So you are basically creating a loop there between the two. So even in future, when you are in a good space and then you say, yes, I'm confident, it still has that negative connotation, that negative drive to it. So in that way, even then, when you are in a good space and you're saying the affirmation, then that affirmation can be to your detriment, because it is linked to something that is not feeling positive for you. And in that sense, you can use affirmations to your detriment. And that is something quite important to understand. Okay? The second way in which this can be detrimental to you, which sort of ties in with the first way, is that your mind, your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind on average is about 95% of the totality of your mind, but for most people, it is up to 99.9%. So when your subconscious mind goes and it looks at the conscious mind, and it says, well, this conscious mind can't be trusted, then what happens is even the efforts that you consciously make towards good, your subconscious mind begins to override it, because your subconscious mind says, no, I can't trust this conscious mind. So now you're doing the good thing, you are doing the right thing, you are doing the beneficial thing, but the thing is not serving you positively. So when is the best time to do affirmations then? Well, you wanna do your affirmations on a routine, or rather you will gain best benefits from your affirmations if you do them on a routine. So I would say it is best to do your affirmations first thing in the morning when you get up, and last thing at night before you fall asleep. Doesn't have to be the exact last thing, but your brain begins to slow down. You can even repeat them in your mind when when you're beginning to feel a little bit drowsy. So the way that you can do that, and I would recommend that you do it the way that I do it, because it really works for me, and I've been sharing this with a lot of people and it really works for them. So what I would do is when I wake up in the morning, before I even open my eyes, I keep my eyes closed and I really feel into my body. How do I feel? How do I feel this morning? I don't just wake up and say, oh, happy, happy day, today I'm going to be happy. Because am I happy? How can I know for a fact? Yes, happiness is a choice. But, it's so important when you first check in with yourself in the morning, you say, okay, I feel good today. Or something feels a little off. And then you say to yourself, okay, what is feeling a little off? Is it a physical thing? Is it a mental thing? Is it an emotional thing? What feels a little off? What feels that it doesn't quite fit? No? Because our body, our consciousness, our emotions, our mind is consistently communicating with us. But we just bluntly refuse to listen. You wake up with a slight lightness of head, say maybe in the morning. People say, that's fine, I'm sure it's nothing. And then you start be feeling a little bit more like vertigo in the morning, like, oh, I'm sure it's fine. You drink this tablet, that tablet, this energy drink, whatever, just to get you going. You get a headache and then, you still ignore it. Your body is speaking to you, your consciousness is speaking to you, but you're ignoring it. And this could have started as simple as checking in with yourself in the morning and feeling, is everything still feeling 100% in place? And before anything becomes a problem, you want to pay attention to that. If you think that you need to see a trained medical practitioner, your spiritual guru, whoever it is that you feel that you need to see, actually make a point of, making an appointment and seeing that person. Making sure that everything is fine. Because remember, we only have this one body. Only have this one. If you lose the plot to this body, that's it for you. So it's good in the morning to just keep your eyes closed, just take a nice deep breath. I like to take 3 deep breaths while coming in the day. My eyes are still closed. And then I will repeat my affirmations. And one I like to say every day is that I am open and receptive to all the good that the universe has available to me right now and throughout this day. I took that one from Louise Hay. And it really works for me. Same thing at night when you go to bed. A very good idea is to write down 10 powerful affirmations for yourself, but you want them to be confirming affirmations. And what I mean by that is that you are confirming that what you want and need is already existing for you. Because the reality is that whatever it is that you want and need and desire, that reality already exists in an altered dimension. But you can have that experience here and now. It is simply about aligning to it. So what I'm going to recommend is that you write 10 confirming affirmations for yourself. And so a good way to start affirming affirmations is what I am. And then you speak it into the present. All right? You can say it, you can think it. I am at peace. I am whole and complete. I am willing to grow. I am willing to heal. I am willing to live a life that is more beautiful than my greatest expectations. I am prepared to succeed. I am willing to, I don't know how many I've given you now, but I am willing to have a fulfilling life. I'm willing to have a life overflowing with joy. I am willing to have a life that feels wonderful, safe, and protected to me. And when you say those things at night, and it's really amazing, so you really take some time and think about this. Okay? Really use your imagination to your benefit. What would you like to have? Everybody, in my experience, already knows what they want. They are usually just too afraid to go for it. Imagine if you went for everything that you wanted. I was speaking to my sister yesterday, one of my sisters, and we're very similar in many ways. Actually, myself, my siblings across the board. But we were speaking about that people would have said to me before, Adrian, it's like you've got no fear. I'm like, I definitely do have fear. Because fear is a normal, healthy thing. It prevents you from thinking, I'm going to jump off the bridge and it's going to be cool. Fear says to you, that's not a good idea. But, one of the best ways to live in harmony with fear is to feel the fear, but not to be run by the fear. Because when you become run by the fear, you can easily become debilitated by the fear. And that's what keeps you stuck in the pattern where you are and you never move forward. Okay? So, when we are awake, we are normally in the more wakeful mind operational state, the conscious state, which is referred to as the beta state. I am in beta right now, and you probably are too. We are awake. We are conscious of what's happening around us. And then there's that beautiful level just below consciousness where you're still sort of like aware of what's happening around you, but you can also experience yourself being very relaxed. You can even experience yourself falling asleep or waking up. That is the alpha state. And then the theta state is the deeper state, and you get a few deeper states in that. All right? So when you say those positive affirmations, those confirming affirmations to yourself as if they are already real. Another one that you can use that works really, really well is gratitude. Whatever you are grateful for, life will give you more similar things to be grateful for, more equal matching things. So when you go to bed and you either say your confirming affirmations or you speak gratitude. It's even more powerful if you've got a gratitude journal. Something simple can do. Little booklet like that works perfectly fine. All right. What am I grateful for? What are 10 amazing things that happened today? What it does for you is when your mind goes to sleep, so from beta to alpha, back and back and back, and you do like these cycles during sleep, your mind processes the day. Okay? It says, well, this is important. This supports your core belief about yourself. This supports what you believe life can get you. This doesn't support what life can get you. And that determines what you consciously experience, the emotions that you experience, and the ones that you don't. All right? Because your brain is always going to try to keep things on the nice, straight, and narrow. So when you then say to yourself these wonderful things when you go to bed, these confirming affirmations or this gratitude, which is really a confirming affirmation as well. What happens is during your period of sleep, when your mind processes the day, it understands that you would now like the mind to process your happenings of your day that has passed in such a way that it supports these things that you've just said. So instead of your mind keeping you away from the things that you want to have, it actually draws you closer to it. And that is a powerful, powerful way in which you can support your own growth. So what do you do in those spaces where you are feeling overwhelmed and you are stressed and you are saying, but I need to do something? You want to feel it. You really want to feel it. If you're going like, fuck, go, fuck, because what happens is when you don't acknowledge what you feel, you are effectively saying to your brain that it is wrong, that it is not acceptable, that it is not good enough, that you don't deserve it. And then guess what happens during the processing of when you are sleeping? All the good possibilities that could have come your way that day that you weren't even aware of, which could be these invitations of life towards something bigger or better for yourself, the subconscious goes like, no, not in alignment with their conscious experience. Okay? So what also happens is when you feel a very strong emotion, when you allow yourself to feel that emotion, whatever it is, what you are actually doing is you are neutralizing it. Because really think about it. When you feel really, really terrible, and you try not to feel terrible, don't you only end up feeling more terrible? Don't you only think of how bad you feel? Don't you only end up thinking of other things that are sort of like matching what you are feeling? That doesn't help you. That doesn't help you at all. So imagine if you did it differently. You know what I'm saying? Okay? So what happens is that wherever you put your focus, that is becoming your next experience of life. And what we sometimes do, we see what's in front of us and we act from that point. But the thing that you want to remember is that the present is a manifestation of the past. So what you are seeing in front of you right now is the present, is technically speaking a manifestation of the past. And every time when you look at it and you focus it again, and the thing to understand about focus is whether it's happy focus or sad focus, focus is focus. What you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on the most is what you're going to get more of, you know. And let's use an example that might be quite easily relatable. So let's imagine you go into a store, and I'm thinking about this because I did this yesterday. So you're going into a store, and yesterday was Sunday, and we felt like something nice might be quite nice. So let's pop to the store and let's go treat ourselves. Okay, we got like a home baked bread, we got some fruit, we got a grilled chicken, we got some orange juice, we got some chips for the kids, and while I was getting the chicken, this lady that was putting the box together, she just took her time. She literally took almost 3 minutes. Completely turned her back on me. And this is about, say, 5:30 in the afternoon on a Sunday. So, the vibe is chilled. She turned her back on me. She was talking to the others. It was like, ha, 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 ha. And I just stayed there and I was like, well, whatever. Whereas before, I would have exploded because who does this bitch think she is to disrespect me in this manner? And when you think about it, I'm driving towards the point of our focus, giving you more of what you're focusing on. So before, and I could have quite a temper. I would have almost like wanted to practically climb over the counter. But now I'm shouting and screaming at you. Somebody else is probably going to get involved. And the manager comes around. Then I have to explain my story. While I could have just waited for for her to take her 3 minutes and to get my chicken and off I go. But this is the amazing thing that also happens when you don't buy into it. When you're like, okay, life is giving me this invitation, because life is consistently giving us invitations. Here's an opportunity for happiness, would you like it? Here's an opportunity for sadness or anger or fear, would you like it? And so I was like, well, I can see this. Somehow I must have manifested this from my past, but I'm not going to add to it. I'm not going to water this plant. You know what the most amazing thing happened? As I breathed and said to myself, this is fine, this will pass, no problem. At the end of the day, I'll still have my chicken. My cousins and their kids that I haven't seen in months, they just happened to be in the store right by me. And I was like, oh my goodness, how are you doing? It was so exciting. To the point that I even forgot about that chicken, and then the lady had to call me, excuse me, sir, we've got your takeaway. So be careful of, the tricks of the mind sometimes. For myself, you don't mess with me. You, you, if there's now one person you don't want to mess with, that is now me. Who's giving you that verbiage? And the thing to remember is the action that we take. And I'm not talking about not speaking up for yourself when it's necessary. But the way that we react to life is also an affirmation. It's a consistent affirmation. And you always want to, it's so easy for the ego to slip in sometimes. So let's imagine all of that happened. I'm stewing very silently. I'm not saying anything. And I walk away and, I don't know, because I'm so angry, I say to myself, I'm whole and complete. I'm happy. I'm fulfilled. And your brain goes like, no, you're not. No, you're not. So you are attaching those positive words to the negative. And so when you go forward and you say them again, you can actually create negativity for yourself, manifest negativity for yourself from saying and doing the right thing, the right affirmation. Remember that we are consistently speaking to life, and life is consistently speaking back to us. And sometimes you want to say to life, oh, that's a cool idea. And sometimes you want to be like, I'm not going to give that too much attention. Because do I want that manifested in my life? And that's a good thing to think about. this thought that I'm thinking right now, the action that I'm thinking right now, the words that I'm speaking right now, or not speaking, or not saying, the direct message that this is giving to my mind, would I like this to manifest as my next set of experiences? So whatever the present is giving you and however you interact with it determines how you experience your next moment. Okay? And I hope that that helps you. If any of you are, interested in expanding your life in beautiful ways, you might want to check out some of the links down below for some of my online coaching. There's a spiritual development course, there's some card reading course, there's a free oracle card reading course. But through all of that, I also use that opportunity in teaching you a skill in an ancient art, giving you very powerful tools to better your life in the here and now, because you are existing in the here and now, even though your ancestors go all the way back to the past. And sometimes people wonder, how is it that these ancient practices are working in the present? Because you are ancient. I am ancient. You know what I'm saying? If any of you are maybe interested in any of my personal services, regression hypnosis is really, really great for releasing what is holding you back. Then again, you can check in the links down below in the description, everything that I've got there. But from my heart, namaste, love and light, and may the rest of your life be the best of your life.